Okay, now we're in chapter 9. And chapter 9 is about tables, pictographs, circle graphs, bar graphs. Okay, so to start with, we've got a table here. So it says use the table to answer the following. Which airline had the best luggage handling time? Oh, best luggage handling record. All right, so here's luggage handling. So 3 points, that's high, 5.5. Let me see if there's anyone, nope. So Atlantic. Right? Then it says, what percent of Delta's flights were on time? Well, so find Delta in the table. Okay, and this is on time performance. What percent? 82%. Okay, we got another table. Use the table to answer the following. What is the maximum fare for a 9-mile ride in New York that includes having the cab wait 15 minutes while you pick up a package at a store? So first of all, we got to find New York. Okay, and it tells us down here, the fare includes price per mile, flag drop, and wait time. So here's the flag drop, here's the price per mile, here's the wait time. So what's the maximum fare for a 9-mile drive? Okay, price per mile. So we got to do that times 9. In New York, that includes having the cab wait 15 minutes. Here's the wait time. Okay, but look, pay attention. This is per hour. 15 minute, wait time per hour, $24 per hour. So I got to figure out, wait, 15 minutes is how much of an hour? How many minutes are in an hour? 60. So that's 15/60ths of an hour. 15/60ths will reduce to 1/4. So he had to wait for 1/4 of an hour. If it's $24 an hour, we want to divide that by 4 to get 6. So the fare is $2.50, right? Plus $18 even, plus $6. And we just add it up. So $26.50 for that fare. All right, now we've got a pictograph. A pictograph is a type of graph that uses little pictures to represent our graph. And we have to have a key with a pictograph. So the first thing I want to do when I'm looking at a pictograph, one of the first things, is find my key. And it says, hey, a person equals 2 million people. So use the pictograph to determine the approximate population of Los Angeles. So I got to find Los Angeles. And each person is 2 million. So here I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then there's half a person. So 13. So 13 million. Don't forget, don't just say 13 because each one is 2 million. So Los Angeles is about 13 million in the year this graph was made. That's a pictograph. Here's another pictograph. Tells us to determine, oh, how much greater this time between New York and Atlanta. So the first thing I got to do is find out, well, how many people are in New York and Atlanta. One thing I might do is look at this. Well, how many more? Look, I can mark that out as the same. That's the same, and that one. So how many more is in New York? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 million more in New York. I could have found out how much was in New York and then subtracted how many's in Atlanta. I could have done that. Or I could have done it right here in the graph, subtracted it, right? Marked it out. Oh, a circle graph, circle graph. So find the ratio, we know what a ratio is now, of time spent in college classes to, so if I'm doing a ratio, I need that word, total number of hours in a day. So here's the time spent in college classes. 3, 2, and how many hours in a day? 24. Don't forget, it's got to simplify. If it's easier to write it like this, when you reduce it, that's fine. So that's 1 to 8. That's the ratio of time spent in college classes to total number of hours in a day. Circle graph, sorta. They're using a pizza for a circle graph, but let's see what it says. Americans eat $2 billion worth of frozen pizzas each year. Whoa. The percent of total sales for each company is rounded to the nearest whole percent. Okay, says use the circle graph above, how about below, on frozen pizza sales to find the amount of sales for Nestle. All right, here's Nestle. Okay, so Nestle is 5% of the total. Okay, so 5% of the total is Nestle, right? I can kind of say that 5% of total is Nestle. Remember our percent equations? This is exactly what that is. So that's 0.05 of total. Hey, here's the total. They're telling us up here, 2 billion. So 0.05, 2 billion is Nestle. All I got to do is multiply 0.05 times 2. So 0.05 times 2. 2 numbers behind the decimal, 2. Okay. All right. So 0.1 billion is Nestle. 0.1 billion. This is a bar graph. Okay, bars representing our data. How many K-12 students were in the district in 2010? So I look down here, here's 2010. Okay, K through 12, that's what we have here, number of K through 12 students. Here's 2010. 25, but be careful, it's in thousands. So make sure that you're careful about reading the information on your graph. How many K through 12 students were in the district in 2010? 25,000. This is called a double bar graph because obviously there are double bars. So the pink represents 2011 and the green 2012. So determine the number of new high-speed connections in the second quarter of 2011. So 2011 is pink. I got several things to look at here. Here's the second quarter. Okay, so determine the number of new high-speed connections, and that's what this is, new high-speed connections. Of course, it's in thousands. I need the pink line in the second quarter, 6,000. 6,000 new high-speed connections in the second quarter of 2011. This is a line graph. This one in particular looks like a fish graph, but a line graph is graphs what we're looking at. In which month were the least number of trout stocked? Okay, so let's see what this is the number of trout stocked. So, and here's our months. Hey, this is the lowest one. So what month is that? August. And then it says how many trout were stocked in August. Oh, August is the least one. So look, that's one, and it's in 10,000s. 10,000, that's about 2.5. So this is 10,000, 20,000, 25,000, right? Because each one of those tick marks is 10,000. 10,000. 10,000, 20,000, that's 30, so that's like 25,000. Another line graph. Find the number of cars sold in 2008. So let's see what's happening with this graph. These are our sales. Okay, these are the cars, so I'm looking at this. Here's my year, 2008. Okay, it's about halfway between 12 and 14, so 13 million. 13 million, or you could just write out million, that's fine. But don't leave off the million. 13 million cars were sold in 2008. First, you got to just pay attention to the cars, find the year, and see how many. Oh, same graph, but this time it says find the amount of decrease and the percent of decrease in car sales from 2008 to 2009. So we're still looking at cars. But we want to know the amount of decrease. First of all, it says and, let's forget this part. So the amount of decrease from 2008 to 2009. So here's 8 and 9. So the amount is 13. Now I know these are in millions, but it's 13 million to 2009, 10 million. Oh, that's 3 million. What's the amount of decrease? 3 million. Now, the percent of decrease, I got to know a little formula for that. And the percent of increase or decrease is the amount over the original. Maybe that's better. All right, we already had the amount, 3 million. Over the original amounts, the original amount is 2008, so that's 13. And again, it's all millions, so that'll cancel. So 3 over 13. Now, I need to change that into a percent because it asked me for a percent decrease. Here's the number, but that needs to be a percent. So how do I change that to a percent? It's a fraction. So let's multiply by 100%. So 300 over 13% decrease. If I want to change that to a decimal, I could. Pay attention to the instructions on your homework. If it says decimal rounded to the nearest tenth, or leave as a fraction. Okay, so that's chapter 9. Let me know if you have any questions.